I will be reviewing Vince and Tamar Season 5, Episode 1. So I've really been waiting for this episode. With Tamar and Vince being so much in the news the last couple of weeks, I want to know what's going on. I want to know if this season's going to really tell what's going on behind the scenes, or it's just a bunch of hype and, they're just building everything up for the show. Okay? I want to know what's going on. At first, I was probably one of the naysayers. I was like, Vince and Tamar are not getting no divorce. They love each other. They're a cute little couple. Got cute little, Logan. And this is a bunch of hype. But it wasn't until Mama Braxton said Vince needs to keep his hands off of my daughter. Then I was all in. I was like, oh my God, maybe this is real. Because I can't really see Vince hitting Tamar. I really can't. But, Mama Braxton is not going to lie. She's the best damn mother on television. I really love her. She's making my mom have a run for her money. I'm sorry, Mom. I might want Tamar's mom, just for a little bit, and then you can come back later. But anyway, so I'm watching this episode, Sideeye. I want to see if there's any clues, what's true, it's what's going on, because at this point I'm probably gonna need Tamar to say Vince hit her, because I can't help it. It's a little part of me that likes Vince. I know, but sometimes nice people can have a-hole side, and that might be Vince. So I got my eye open for him, so I'm watching. So the episode opens up and they're friendly couple again. They're talking about Vince weight loss surgery. I didn't even know Vince had weight loss surgery. Some damn thing called a sleeve. But anyway, he lost 100 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And he wants to have skin removal surgery. Skin removal. I don't know. I guess he said that once you lose a lot of weight, you have all that skin. I seen it on my 600 pound life. He wasn't 600 pounds, but he was half of that. He was 300 pounds. And so he was talking to Tamar about having it, and she's nervous about it because, he has the whole blood clot thing. Remember, he almost died, was it a year or 2 years ago? That's not really smart to have surgery when you have a blood clotting problem. But okay, so they were discussing that, and he said he was going to go meet with his doctor and give her advice. In the meantime, he went golfing with Benzino. Now, see, so now I got my eye open for problems. I want to see, what happened in this relationship, or is this just a PR stunt? But, hanging with Benzino can always be the beginning of the down of a relationship. I've seen Benzino and Althea, they're always having problems. They probably are broken up right now. He's not a really good person to hang around as far as, trying to be, have a role model for a good relationship. He used to hang with Stevie J. Okay, so, but he's hanging with Benzino, and, they're just talking about his weight loss. Now, Vince is really, really ecstatic about this weight loss. A little too much. Have you ever heard that sometimes people, when they lose a lot of weight, then they get a little bit of an ego? I'm sure you heard about it before. They don't know how to handle being thin. This is not a problem I made up in my head. This is a real problem that I watch that TLC, my 600 pound life. They have to get used to the new them, and they're all happy and getting everything is great. This is what Vince is going through. He's ecstatic about the weight loss, and he's saying he's happier than ever, and being overweight had him depressed. And I'm sure it's a huge change and it's a huge accomplishment. You had a little help with the sleeve, but it's still hard to do, and dangerous. You don't want anyone cutting on you, especially when you have a blood clotting problem. But he's really happy about it, really, really happy about it. And Tamar, not so much. She said he doesn't eat anymore, and it's she's getting used to this new, self-confident Vince, but that's nothing abnormal. That's normal for people, some people, not everyone, Vince, just you and a couple more, that when you lose weight, it's really hard to handle. But he's going through that right now. He says he's really happy. So he flies to New York to talk to his doctor about the surgery, and then he stops by his parents' grave. Now, I'm supposed to be watching this scene side-eye because, no man is ever supposed to put their hands on a woman. I don't give a damn. No excuse, bottom line, weight loss or not. You better not ever put your hands on me. So, I'm all prepared to hate Vince. But, when he went to the gravesite of his parents and he started talking about his parents, here comes that whole like thing up again. I mean, I tried to push it down, but I felt bad. So he said he lost both of his parents, and he had to bury a lot of people in his family. I believe he said 6. And he talked about his mother was a nurse, and she said she was going to work and she would see him when she got back, and she never got back. And he started crying. And here I am crying too. Now, that's not doing so good on my whole not liking Vince situation. It's just not. But, I felt bad for him. And he said, Tamar doesn't know how it feels. Hell, a lot of people don't know how that feels. I mean, both of your parents, under the age of 20, he was 13. Oh my goodness. I just feel so bad for Vince. And he was crying, and he said it, made him realize, what's important. And, he hadn't been back in a long time. He wanted to see good friends so they could see his weight loss. There he is talking about the weight loss again. So, I go into this thinking, Vince is, a lowlife, but I can't help it. I felt really bad for him. And, I can't imagine what's that like. And when he said Tamar doesn't understand what it's like to lose anyone, hell, I'm sure 90% of America doesn't know what it's like to lose both parents under the age of 20. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Vince. And he said he didn't know anything about how to be a father, because he didn't have as long, and he just tried to do the best that he could because he didn't have parents. Oh, Vince, you did really good. Here comes that like thing again. So while Vince was in New York, Tamar was getting ready for preparing for her upcoming album. So Vince goes and visits his doctor to get her opinion on if he should have this skin removal surgery. Make his decision for him. What she basically did was told him the cons of both sides. Yes, it'll be a hassle to walk around with this dead weight, skin. And it can be, a burden, a little bit of burden. It's like carrying around a tire everywhere you're going. But on the other hand, you could lose your life during surgery, but so can everyone. So I don't know, she didn't really give him advice. I guess she just told him what the bottom line could be on both sides, and at the end of the day, the decision is still Vince. Simply put, you could be the new sexy thin Vince with the, tire rubber stomach. Not so sexy, but you're still thin. Or you could go to surgery and, risk your life. These are some serious choices he has to make. Me personally, I understand why Tamar's upset. No, you just don't want... Who plays Russian roulette with their life? But, I guess he got the sleeve done in the first place, so that's still a risk. I don't know, Vince. I'm like Tamar, you might be a little bit, nuts. So while Vince is really either talking about his weight, being happy about his weight, showing off his weight, and really into his weight thing right now, Tamar's really into the music. She goes to the meeting, they meet the new company, and she's asking a lot of questions because she wants her album to be successful, and she's just really into her music. But she's always been that way. So the only change so far I see is in Vince. And the whole weight thing might have went to his head just a little bit, but that's not enough to break up a marriage. Is it? No, I don't think so. But that's where they are. Tamar's into her music, Vince is into Vince. Vince is so much into his whole new weight loss thing and everything. Is that when he went to go talk to the doctor, he didn't even take Tamar with him, and she was pissed because I would be too. Like, what, why not? She was at work. He could have rescheduled, whatever. That's a little offensive. That's a little offensive. Like, you don't take your wife to talk to the doctor about these major decisions. What are you trying to do, Vince? Vince, what's going on? But still, no cause for a divorce. Maybe some like counseling for Vince, about, do they have what they call new body counseling? I heard something like that. If they do, he needs to sign up. But it was the end of the episode that really got kind of intense. So Tamar had a performance at a club, and she wanted the performance to go good. No, excellent. But that's what she always does. Tamar is about giving her all. She's dreamed about being a performer for years. She's been a performer for years. That's what they do. They obsessed over their careers. So this is nothing new. So she was wanting things done a certain way, and Vince seemed to be like a little bit mentally checked out. He was just like not so involved the way that she wanted him to be involved. She had planned, well, first thing she was gonna, she was practicing some dance steps with her dancers in the parking lot, because that's how bad she wants this performance to go good. Vince brings her in and says, practice out in the, parking lot. He kind of had a point, And then she wanted the dancers to come on stage. Somehow they didn't get to the stage, okay? Then when she was on the stage, the sound was a mess. The performance just didn't go the way that she wanted it to go. Now, being an audience member, I thought it was fine. But, perfection. These artists, they want perfection. And Tamar's at a point in her career right now where she wants to go to the next level. She wants to be the best performer she can be. She wants to push herself to the next level. And Vince is like, I'm looking good here. I feel good. I'm feeling happy. Calm down. Everything's not such a big deal. So after the performance, she was pissed. No, she was pissed on stage. She was pissed because, you paid for some dancers, they didn't show up, a lot of just technical difficulty. This happens all the time. But a lot of times when the manager isn't your husband, you can like blame them for everything, cuss them out, or even fire them. But when he's your husband, no, not so much. But on the other hand, you know him to a T, he knows you to a T, he knows this is how you get, and he should have probably just let you vent, but she was pissed. She was really, really pissed, and she wanted answers. And Vince basically was like, hey, shit happens. That was his attitude. Well, he's kind of right. I mean, it does, but, you're slipping on your job, Vince. I mean, come on. Yeah, you're supposed to be pushing for the best at all times like Tamar. So this episode, that's what happened in this episode. So all I could see, it was that, yes, it does get hard working with your husband, but not divorce worthy. I mean, is it? Not yet. But it's this episode 1. So right now, I'm still liking these two together. I feel bad. I'm always team Tamar, but I don't see anything, to hate Vince for yet. That's why I'm gonna need her to come out and say, no, he's a beater. Then if she says that, it's be easier for me to, turn on Vince. But right now, it's just, I like both of them still, and they both are the same as they always been. But this is episode 1. So you know what that means. I have to keep watching to figure out, what's going on? What happened here? What caused this divorce? Is this a PR stunt? So I'm on my job. I'll be there next week. Until next time, thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.